You are a toy!
Today, we're taking a nostalgic trip back to one of our favorite childhood movies, where toys spring to life when humans aren't around. We're talking about Toy Story, and not just the first movie, but all 4 films plus the latest release, Lightyear. This animated classic, first released in 1995 by Pixar, follows the wild adventures of a vintage cowboy, Woody, a space ranger, Buzz, Rex, Ham, Jesse, Slinky, Mr. Potato Head, Bullseye, and the rest of the gang. They all share an incredible owner, Andy, and the series plays out over years as Andy gradually grows up and leaves his childhood behind. But hold on, let's take it step by step. Grab your popcorn, and without further ado, let the adventure begin. Toy Story opens with Andy's birthday, and he's just received an incredible gift, a Buzz Lightyear toy, a super modern astronaut equipped with the latest technology, a laser beam, sound system, and retractable wings.
To infinity and beyond!
All the toys, Ham, Slinky, Rex, Potato Head, and the rest are thrilled with the new addition. And then there's Woody, who's feeling extremely jealous. For years, Woody was Andy's favorite, and now he's afraid that this will change with Buzz's arrival because, let's be honest, Buzz is the toy that every kid would want. He's futuristic, he's a space ranger, while Woody, well, he's just a cowboy whose glory days have already passed. As the days go by, Woody feels worse and worse as he gradually watches Buzz become not only Andy's favorite, but also the center of attention among the other toys. Without a doubt, hard times for Woody. However, there's a small detail that makes Buzz a bit weird. He's 100% convinced that he's not a toy. He thinks he's a real space ranger.
Buzz, look, an alien! Where? Ah!
Filled with jealousy, Woody decides to take matters into his own hands. He tries to push Buzz behind a piece of furniture to get rid of him, but the plan backfires, when Buzz ends up falling out of the window directly into the bushes. After seeing this, Potato Head, Ham, Rex, and the others turn against Woody, thinking he's completely lost it. While they argue about what just happened, they're interrupted by Andy, who comes into the room looking for Buzz, as he wants to take him to Pizza Planet. He's of course unable to find him, so he ends up taking Woody instead.
Here he is, man! Drag him! Let's string him up by his pull string!
Unknowingly, Andy has just saved Woody from a very awkward situation. Once in the car, Woody is worried, thinking about how to find Buzz and fix things with the others. Meanwhile, Buzz manages to climb into the car as well, and when Andy and his mom stop at a gas station, the duo get into a fight that leaves them stranded outside the vehicle, completely lost.
You are a toy!
Despite the difficult situation, Woody manages to convince Buzz to join him in the search for Andy, and the two head to Pizza Planet. Once there, Woody spots Andy, and although he wants to go to him so badly and end this nightmare, he can't. Buzz is so obsessed with completing his mission as a space ranger that he heads straight for a claw machine shaped like a spaceship, and Woody, knowing he can't go back alone, has to follow him.
Greetings, I am Buzz Lightyear.
But things only get worse when Sid uses the machine and ends up taking them to his house. Yeah, Sid, the crazy, cruel kid who lives next door to Andy, the very one who destroys toys for fun. Upon arriving at Sid's house, Buzz and Woody experience true terror, not only from Sid and his dog Scud, but also from the other modified and frightening toys that live there. And I'm not gonna lie, as a kid, these toys really freaked me out, especially that spider mechanical baby head thing, so weird.
Hannah! Jeannie's all better now.
Woody knows they need to get out as soon as possible, and he tries to escape at the first opportunity. However, while attempting to do so, they accidentally wake up Scud, and are forced to split up. Buzz ends up in a room where, to his surprise, he sees a commercial of himself on TV. It's at this moment that he realizes that he is, in fact, just a toy.
Pressure space wings! To infinity and beyond! Not a flying toy.
Trying to convince himself otherwise, he decides to give it one last try to see if he can fly. But when he fails, he completely crumbles, breaking himself. Everything he believed about himself turns out to be a lie. He's not special. He's not on a space mission, and the harsh reality hits him really hard. After this, Woody finds Buzz completely changed. It's evident that he's no longer the same as before.
Would you like some tea, Mrs. Nesbit?
While Buzz is in a state of depression, struggling with his identity, Woody continues looking for ways to escape. In fact, he even succeeds in getting his friends to notice him through the window in Andy's room, but they decide not to help. After all, they won't easily forget what Woody did to Buzz.
Buzz?
Meanwhile, Sid's toys, whom Woody calls the cannibals, fix Buzz's arm, which he broke earlier when he tried to fly. Surprised, Woody apologizes, as he was convinced that they would harm them, but he realizes that he was very mistaken. While apologizing, Sid enters the room excited about the package that's just arrived. A super rocket. Sid searches for Woody everywhere, as he plans to blow him up using the rocket. But when he can't find him, he decides to use Buzz instead and tapes him to it. Lucky for Buzz though, the rain stops Sid from going through with his plan, so he decides to leave it for tomorrow instead.
Oh, Woody. If only you could see how much Andy misses you.
Woody knows they need to get out of this place as soon as possible, not only to prevent Buzz from getting blown to pieces, but also to try to make it home before Andy leaves. In the morning, Andy will be moving to a new home. There's a small problem. Woody needs Buzz's help, because while trying to hide from Sid, he crawled under a box and he can't move it. Despite Woody's desperation to get out, Buzz doesn't help him. He sits there, depressed and emotionless. Woody talks to him and explains how important toys are to kids. He tries to make Buzz understand that Andy is his kid now. He even encourages Buzz by saying how incredible he is due to all of his amazing features.
All I can do is...
These words surely stir something inside Buzz, as he rises from his depression and joins Woody to find a way to escape. But they are quickly interrupted by Sid, who wakes up and takes Buzz to the garden to prepare everything for the big show. Woody, without wasting any time, gathers Sid's toys, and together they devise a plan to distract Scud and head down to the garden in search of Buzz.
You're with Ducky. Roller Bob and I don't move till we get the signal. Clear?
Once in the garden, Woody gives Sid a lesson he will never forget. All the toys come together to give him the scare of his life. As some of them come to life and walk towards him, Woody, in a creepy tone, warns him to take better care, reminding him that the toys see everything. Terrified, Sid has no choice but to run away. And who wouldn't? That's absolutely terrifying. After this, Buzz and Woody hurry to find Andy, as everything is packed and ready for the move. Despite their efforts, the duo fails to reach the car in time, so they have to run after the moving truck. Buzz manages to get there first and helps Woody climb on, but things don't go as planned as Buzz falls into the street while protecting Woody from Scud, who followed them all the way there. Thinking quickly, Woody lifts the truck's door and searches through the boxes in hopes of finding anything useful. He decides to throw one of Andy's toy cars into the street to get Buzz back. Woody does everything he can to get both toys back to the truck, but he fails, as Potato Head and the others turn against him when they see him throwing another toy into the street, tossing him out of the truck, even after Woody tries to explain the situation. However, after realizing that Woody wasn't lying when he said he was helping Buzz, the toys throw Slinky like a rope to help them climb back in. But unfortunately, the battery of the toy car is running out, leaves them stranded in the middle of the street. Woody doesn't give up, and seeing that the rocket is still attached to Buzz, he decides to use it. I mean, thanks, Sid. Kinda saved the day in a weird way. Despite the challenges, Woody manages to light it up, and the trio flies ahead at full speed. As Woody launches the toy car into the truck, he and Buzz head straight for Andy's car. And just before the rocket explodes, Buzz deploys his wings and they literally fly toward it, to infinity and beyond. Well, at least that's what Woody says, since Buzz claims that they're just falling with style. Finally, Buzz and Woody manage to return to Andy, but that's not where it ends. Once at the new house, during Christmas to be precise, the toys eagerly wait to find out if there will be any new additions this year. And there is. Although it's not a toy, it's something every child would wish for, and every toy's worst nightmare: a puppy.
Say, isn't that mistletoe?
Toy Story 2 kicks off with Woody searching everywhere for his hat, as Andy is taking him to cowboy camp, and he obviously can't go without it. After all, a cowboy without a hat just doesn't make any sense. Woody's been waiting for this moment for a long time and wants everything to be perfect. All his friends join him to help him find it, and fortunately it does turn up.
In just a few hours, you'll be sitting around a campfire with Andy making delicious hot schmoes.
Now everybody's ready for camp. However, just before leaving, Andy plays with his toys one last time and accidentally tears Woody's arm. Realizing what has happened, Andy becomes sad and decides that it's best to leave Woody at home. With this in mind, Andy's mom places Woody on the highest shelf in the room, which is covered in dust, and tells him that she's really sorry, but toys don't last forever. This deeply affects Woody, who now has nightmares in which Andy gets rid of him for being broken.
I don't want to play
Upon waking from one of these nightmares, Woody realizes he's not alone on the shelf. Wheezy is there too. Woody's surprised to see him as Andy's mom was supposed to fix his squeaker, but it seems like she didn't. She only told Andy that to calm him down. While they talk, Woody notices that Andy's mom is having a yard sale and quickly alerts everybody to hide, because a yard sale equals a toy sale.
Guys, wake up! There's a yard sale outside! Yard sale?
Unfortunately for him, Wheezy is one of the toys selected, and Andy's mom takes him away. Upon seeing this, Woody quickly comes up with a plan to rescue him and makes his way to the yard sale with the help of Buster, the family dog. Although Woody manages to save Wheezy, he finds himself in a bigger problem. A collector spots him, and despite Andy's mom telling him that Woody is not for sale, he takes him anyway. Or rather, he steals him. While this is happening, the other toys watch from the window, and although Buzz comes down to try to rescue Woody, he fails. However, he does manage to see the license plate of the car and some feathers. Clues that help him figure out who the man is that took Woody. None other than the chicken guy from the Al's Toy Barn commercials. Upon arriving at the man's apartment, Woody tries everything he can to escape. In the process, Woody meets Bullseye, Jesse, and Stinky Pete, who are all very happy to see him. Turns out they're all belonging to the same collection, and now with Woody, the collection's complete. Woody is undoubtedly surprised and happy to learn that he's a very famous toy. I mean, he even had his own TV show once. However, his happiness fades away when he finds out that they will be sent to a museum in Japan. Meanwhile, Buzz, along with Rex, Potato Head, Slinky, and Ham, begin their journey to rescue Woody. On the other end, Woody knows he must hurry and get back to Andy as soon as possible, as this has all been a misunderstanding.
This is for Woody when you find him.
All right, but I don't think it'll mean the same coming from me.
Jesse, upon hearing this, becomes very upset because she doesn't want to go back to storage. Woody can't leave them. However, their discussion is interrupted when Al returns to take pictures. During this, by the way, Woody's arm finally comes off, forcing him to stay a bit longer until they repair him. Meanwhile, Buzz and the others successfully arrive at the toy store, but what they don't know is that Woody isn't there. In the morning, the specialist also arrives to repair Woody. Not only does he sew his arm back on, but he also cleans him up and gives him a little makeover. There was always something about this scene that made it really satisfying to watch, but also so sad because he paints over Andy's name on Woody's shoe. Back at the toy store, Buzz and the others decide to split up to find Woody faster. While Rex, Ham, Slinky, and Potato Head encounter some Barbie dolls, Buzz stumbles upon the Buzz Lightyear aisle. This turns out to be a very bad idea, as when he tries to take a closer look, he's confronted by another Buzz who goes crazy seeing him out of the box. Despite Buzz trying to explain the situation, he ends up trapped in a box. When the others also pass through this aisle, guided by Barbie, they take Buzz with them to continue their search.
I'm a married spud, I'm a married spud, I'm a married spud. Make room for the single fellas.
What they don't realize is they picked up the wrong Buzz. The real Buzz is locked inside a box. Woody, with his arm fixed as good as new, is ready to leave. But before he does, Stinky Pete asks him to talk to Jesse, to try to fix things between them. Woody takes his advice, and despite doubting whether talking to her will change anything, he goes ahead. During their conversation, Jesse tells Woody that she also had a kid once. Her name was Emily. Jesse shares a flashback of her life when Emily was young and filled with joy. But once Emily grew up, everything changed. Jesse was left behind.
But she began to drift away. I was left.
After this, she never saw Emily again, and that memory still hurts her. Woody, upon hearing this, feels hesitant to leave as he understands that what happened to Jesse is inevitable. Kids grow up. Things change. There's nothing you can do about it. After thinking it over, Woody decides to stay. Back in the toy store, Ham and the others finally find the kidnapper and sneak into his suitcase to get to Woody. Meanwhile, Buzz manages to escape from the box he was in, and upon seeing the others leaving with Al inside his suitcase, chases after them but fails to catch up. However, he realizes that Al doesn't live far, and is just crossing the street, so he heads that way. What he doesn't know is that Zurg, his arch nemesis, is following him, as Buzz accidentally dropped the box he was in when leaving the toy store, allowing Zurg to escape. The other Buzz and the gang enter the building through a ventilation duct and go up to where the elevator is. The group begins to notice strange behavior in their Buzz, but they don't think too much of it.
To infinity and beyond!
The real Buzz arrives, sees the open duct, and follows them. Woody, on the other hand, is actually excited about going to Japan. And while they wait for Al to return and pack them up, Woody, Jesse, and Bullseye take the opportunity to play and have fun. Ham and the others follow the laughter and finally find Woody. Upon arriving at the scene, they believe that Jesse and Bullseye are attacking Woody, so they rush to defend him. Woody tries to calm them down and explain that they're now his friends, but Ham and the others are not convinced. The real Buzz also arrives, and after clarifying that he is indeed the real Buzz, things seem to calm down. Woody's happy to see them, but announces that he will be going to Japan since he's a valuable toy. Buzz and the others, confused by his excitement, urge Woody to come back to Andy, but he refuses. Buzz tries to reason with him, but Woody insists on staying. Disappointed, Buzz and the others decide to leave. However, after thinking it over, Woody changes his mind. He asks Buzz to wait for him. Woody talks to Jesse and Bullseye and convinces them to return with him. He's 100% sure that Andy will be very happy to have new toys. Woody also goes to Stinky Pete to ask him the same thing, but when he approaches his box, Woody realizes that he's no longer there. Stinky Pete isn't going to let Woody leave and ruin his entire plan to go to Japan, so he decided to screw the ventilation duct shut to prevent Woody from escaping.
It's too late, Woody. That silly Buzz Lightweight can't help you.
Woody, upset, calls Buzz for help, but it's too late as Al returns and takes them away. Buzz and the others rush to the elevator to catch up with Woody, but they encounter obstacles along the way, including Zurg. Buzz from the toy store deals with Zurg and discovers that he's his father.
You killed my father!
No, Buzz. I am your father.
The real Buzz and the rest of the group look for ways to get into the elevator. Unfortunately, they're too late, and Al continues on his way to the airport. Once outside the building, while Buzz from the toy store decides to stay and build a relationship with his father, Zurg, Potato Head spots an unattended Pizza Planet truck. And yep, you guessed it, they use it to go after Al. At the airport, Buzz and the others are on the lookout for a green suitcase, as Woody is in it. However, their search becomes challenging after passing through the magic portal, as now there's a lot of other green suitcases. After opening a few of them, Buzz finally finds Woody, but Stinky Pete intervenes and tries to stop him from leaving.
Okay, Woody, let's go!
Luckily, Buzz manages to trap Stinky Pete in a suitcase with a Barbie doll. Unfortunately, the problems don't end there, as Jessie is still in the suitcase. Woody, along with Bullseye and Buzz, race after her. Woody manages to reach her just in time, but as they prepare to escape, the plane's doors slam shut. Woody and Jessie drop down to the plane's wheels, where Buzz and Bullseye are waiting for them, and they jump off just before the plane takes off. Back home, Andy is thrilled to see his new toys. Jessie is happy too, as she can finally feel part of a family again. Meanwhile, Buzz feels something special. Well, Jessie leaves him speechless. In the end, we can say that everyone is happy to be back, and the movie concludes with Wheezy singing, "You've Got a Friend in Me." What a wonderful ending. Toy Story 3 opens with nostalgic videos of Andy playing with his toys, moments that are now just good memories, as Andy is 17 years old and he's not interested in them anymore. In fact, Woody and the others have been stored in a chest for quite some time now. That's why they come up with a plan to get Andy's attention back, hoping he'll take him out to play one more time, just like the old days.
And she's on a rampage!
Does the red light mean it's going?
The plan is to hide Andy's cell phone inside the chest and call it, so that when it rings, Andy will open the chest and notice them. The plan works perfectly. Andy finds them, but to their disappointment, he doesn't pay attention at all. He's only interested in getting his phone back. Woody and Buzz try to lift everybody's spirits, reminding them that no matter what happens, they'll always be together. There's nothing to worry about, as Andy will most likely store them in the attic.
Yeah, we've lost friends along the way. Wheezy and Bo Peep.
Andy returns to his room with his mom, who reminds him that they'll be leaving for college in a few days and they need to clean up his room. Andy has to decide what to take to college, what to store in the attic, and what to throw away. Andy grabs a trash bag and puts his toys inside. Well, all of them except Woody, since he plans to take Woody to college. Buzz and the others get scared, thinking that they're about to be thrown away, not knowing that Andy actually intends to put them in the attic. However, just as Andy is about to open the attic door, he gets interrupted by his sister, Molly, who's carrying a big box. Naturally, Andy helps her and leaves the bag on the floor for a moment.
I can't breathe!
Oh, this can't be happening!
Quiet! What's that sound?
Woody sees Andy leave with Molly and tries to free Buzz and the others. But unfortunately, Andy's mom walks by, trips over the bag, and assumes that it's trash.
Buster, come here, boy, come here.
Woody races after his friends as the garbage truck is just around the corner. But luckily for him, Buzz and the others manage to escape just before getting dumped into the truck. Confused and upset, they spot a box marked for donation to Sunnyside Daycare in Andy's mom's car. I mean, that's better than ending in the trash, right? Woody finally catches up with the group and explains that the whole situation was just a terrible misunderstanding, insisting they have to return to Andy. However, Potato Head Jesse and the others don't believe him. They begin to argue. While they're still bickering, Andy's mom starts the car, and they all end up being taken to Sunnyside.
Sad, lonely place for washed-up old toys who have no owners.
Once there, they're warmly welcomed by the toys that live there. Everyone seems so excited about this new place. I mean, seems like a toy paradise. Well, everybody except for Woody, of course. He wants to go back to Andy as soon as possible. Lotso, the teddy bear in charge, along with Ken, gives them a tour of the daycare. Afterward, they take Buzz and the gang to the Caterpillar room, where the younger kids play. Woody makes one last attempt to convince everybody to leave with him and go back to Andy, but no one is with him this time. Woody's on his own. Wasting no more time, Woody looks for a way to get out, and he manages to do so through the roof by using an ultralight toy. However, a strong gust of wind causes him to lose control, and he ends up crashing into a tree where he's found by Bonnie, the daughter of the daycare owner, who takes him home.
Ah, he's crazy. College is no place for a toy.
Toys are for playtime.
Meanwhile, recess ends and the kids return to class. Jesse and the others get ready for playtime, but Buzz notices that something might be off. He sees the other toys in the room hiding. Then, the door swings open and the children rush in to play. Soon, Buzz, Jesse, and the others' excitement quickly turns to horror as they realize these kids are very young and very rough with no idea how to play gently. This is definitely a traumatic experience for everybody.
Come to Papa.
Meanwhile, Woody meets Bonnie's other toys and enjoys playing with them, something he's clearly missed. Back at the daycare, Rex and the others complain about the room that they're in, insisting they should be in the butterfly room instead. In the butterfly room, there's slightly older kids. Buzz offers to go to Lotso to explain their desire of moving rooms. While looking for him, Buzz spots Ken and two other toys walking down the hallways and decides to follow them.
Love. You. Oh. See? That time I said love. Okay, now me first.
Okay.
Love.
Eventually, Buzz tracks them to a vending machine where it turns out they meet every night to gamble. After hearing them talk, Buzz feels that something might be wrong with Sunnyside, so he heads back to tell the others. Unfortunately, he's discovered by Big Baby, who drags him to Lotso. At first, Buzz is relieved to see Lotso, thinking the bear will understand the situation. However, that relief is short-lived when Buzz realizes that Lotso isn't the kind, cuddly teddy bear that everybody thinks that he is. Lotso is evil. And to keep Buzz quiet, he resets him to his original factory settings, making him act all weird and space marine-y again.
No! No!
Jesse and the rest are anxiously waiting for Buzz to return, when suddenly, Mrs. Potato Head says that she can see Andy. Thanks to the eye she left behind in Andy's room, she can witness what's happening. She quickly realizes that Andy actually wanted to put them in the attic, and Woody was right. This was all a misunderstanding. Lotso enters the room, and Jesse immediately asks about Buzz, saying they need to leave. But they quickly realize that something is wrong when they notice that Buzz is acting really weird.
Hey, no one takes my wife's mouth, except me. Give it back, you furry air freshener.
Lotso locks them up, making it clear that no one ever leaves Sunnyside. Elsewhere, Woody, with the help of Bonnie's toys, finally finds out how to get back to Andy's house. Overjoyed, he says his goodbyes, telling them if they ever visit Sunnyside, they should greet his friends. After listening to this, the toys exchange confused looks. Explain to Woody that Sunnyside isn't the paradise he thinks that it is. It's actually a prison controlled by an evil bear. Concerned, Woody asks for more details, and that's when he meets Chuckles, a clown who once had the same owner as Lotso. Chuckles tells Woody the story of how Lotso became evil after their owner Daisy accidentally left them at a park and replaced him with another bear just like him.
It took forever, but we finally made it back to Daisy's.
Chuckles says that something broke inside Lotso that day. Since then, he's been controlling all the toys at Sunnyside. Hearing this, Woody realizes that he needs to go back and rescue his friends. The next morning, Woody sneaks back into Sunnyside inside Bonnie's backpack and immediately starts searching for Buzz and the others. Along the way, he meets a toy telephone who gives him crucial advice for escaping Sunnyside, the most important being to get rid of the monkey that monitors the security cameras at night.
So it's trucks patrolling all night long. Hallway, lobby, playground.
Yeah. What about the wall?
8 feet high.
After some time, Woody finds Buzz and the others and explains to them his escape plan. That same night, they're getting out, no matter what. In the night, Potato Head distracts the guards by heading to the sandbox, and Barbie goes with Ken to get information on how to fix Buzz, while Woody and Slinky go after the monkey to take him down. After a quick struggle, they manage to tie him up, grab the keys for the doors, and make a signal to Jesse to distract Buzz so they can lock him up. Meanwhile, Barbie also succeeds in her part of the plan, getting Ken to spill the information about how to reset Buzz to his normal self.
What a shame.
Oh, no, 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 no!
With a manual in hand, Woody and the others try to fix Buzz, but something goes wrong, and now Buzz is Spanish? Que incredible, tío. Once all are reunited, they continue with the plan.
Come on, we're almost there. El vaquero.
And they manage to get to the trash chute, in other words, to the exit. But just as it seems the plane went off without a hitch, Lotso appears and blocks their way. Woody tries to calm Lotso by mentioning Daisy, but this only makes him even more angry, and not just with Woody, with everybody. Big Baby, tired of Lotso's behavior, throws him into the trash, and for a moment it seems like it's all over. However, Lotso grabs Woody and drags him down into the dumpster with him. Jessie tries to rescue Woody as the garbage truck approaches, but she fails and ends up falling in as well, followed by Buzz and the others. Inside the trash heap, Buzz sees more garbage falling and rushes to save Jessie, his señorita, shielding her from being crushed by a TV.
Señorita! Señorita! ¿Dónde está?
His heroic act, however, leads Buzz to get crushed instead. Everybody panics, but they quickly sign relief when they realize the impact actually reset Buzz, bringing him back to his usual self. No more Spanish. Though they've escaped that scare, they have a bigger problem. They're headed straight toward the incinerator. Lotso spots a button that could stop the conveyor belt and asks Woody and Buzz to help, just to betray them. Our heroes seem to be facing their inevitable end, but just when all hope seems lost, the aliens show up using a giant claw to rescue them from the furnace right in the nick of time. Ooh, that was a close one. Once everyone is safe, Woody and the others rush back to Andy's house before he leaves for college. Woody prepares to be packed away, while Buzz and the others go inside a box meant for the attic.
Besides, I know about Buzz's Spanish mode.
My what?
Everything seems fine, but Woody feels that something is missing. He leaves a note for Andy. After reading Woody's message, Andy realizes that it's better to donate the toys than store them in the attic. And who better to take care of them than Bonnie? Andy goes to Bonnie's house, introducing her to his beloved toys.
This is Rex, the meanest, most terrifying dinosaur who ever lived. Roar!
Knowing that they'll be in good hands. When looking at Woody, Andy hesitates to give him to Bonnie. After thinking for a while, he decides it's best for them all to stay together and hands Woody over. Definitely a really tough decision for Andy. Woody was his best friend for so many years. To say goodbye, Andy plays with his toys one last time, this time with Bonnie by his side. It's an incredibly nostalgic and beautiful ending, marking not just a farewell, but a new beginning for everybody. Wow, I am definitely crying.
So long, partner.
Our final movie begins with a flashback to 9 years ago, when Woody was still Andy's toy, revealing how Bo Peep was given away.
There you are.
Fast forward to the present, where Bonnie is now Woody's owner, and to Woody's surprise, he's no longer the favorite toy. Even though he feels underappreciated, upon hearing Bonnie cry because she doesn't want to go to school, he decides to accompany her. At school, Bonnie's first activity involves crafting something with colors, pipe cleaners, and other material. Bonnie feels lonely and sad as the other kids ignore her completely. Woody helps her without her noticing, providing all the materials she could possibly need to make her feel better. As a result, Bonnie creates Forky, a peculiar little spork guy. When Woody sees Forky and realizes that he's alive, he's completely shocked. I mean, after all, Forky is just a spork. Sporks aren't supposed to be alive. Forky is definitely one of a kind, as he doesn't understand that he's now a toy. Forky's convinced he's just trash, and wants to just be there, in the trash. In order to stop Forky from constantly throwing himself away, Woody basically babysits him, a truly exhausting job.
Something happened to him.
Oh, shoots and ladders.
To cheer Bonnie up, her parents decide to take her on a road trip, allowing her to take all the toys with her, including Forky. While babysitting Forky, Woody, for a brief moment, gets distracted. And what do you know? Forky jumps out the car. Worried, Woody decides to go after him and tells Buzz and the others he'll meet them at the next stop. Despite the other toys' efforts to stop him, Woody leaps out of the car too. Jeez, Woody is committed to keeping Forky safe.
I was made for soup, salad, maybe chili, and then the trash. I'm litter! Freedom!
Once he finds the little guy, Woody begins the long journey back to the car. Along the way, Woody explains to Forky that he's a toy now. He's got to act like one. After a long conversation, Forky finally starts to get it, or at least something close to it. He understands that Bonnie needs him, but he still insists he's just trash. He's not a toy. Woody and Forky eventually reach a neighborhood and continue their search for Bonnie. While walking, a store catches Woody's eye as he spots a familiar lamp in the window. Bo Peep's lamp. Ignoring Forky's suggestion to keep looking for Bonnie, Woody goes inside the antique store.
Can we go back to Bonnie now? I don't see your friend.
Yeah, okay. She's not in here.
Inside, Woody searches for Bo, but instead meets Gabby and Vincent, two old vintage dolls. However, things take a dark turn when Gabby notices that Woody's voice box is in perfect condition, something that she desperately needs. Realizing this, Woody rushes to find a way to escape, but Gabby's dummies, who are so very creepy by the way, chase after them. Although Woody manages to escape, Forky doesn't. So Woody knows he'll have to go back for him. Meanwhile, Buzz also decides to leave the car and go in search of Woody and Forky, since it's weird that they haven't returned.
Where are you going? Why?
Should we all go? Are we going?
No time to explain. Attack!
No time to explain.
On the other hand, Woody runs into Bo, who has become something of a superhero, saving and guiding lost toys. After catching up and discovering that Bo has been without an owner for years and knows the antique shop very well, Woody asks her for help in rescuing Forky. Though hesitant, she eventually agrees, and they go back together, accompanied by her sheep and her best friend Giggle.
If it isn't Bobby, Gus, Lefty?
On their way back to the store, they run into Buzz, who's been following his inner voice to track down Woody. Surprisingly, it works. Buzz isn't alone either. He's joined by two plush toys that he met at the fair. Together, they all team up to rescue Forky.
To infinity and my foot! Boom! In a galaxy far, far away, you got kicked in the head! Boom!
Back at the store, Bo comes up with a plan to get to Forky, but Woody, after noticing Bonnie in the store, immediately rushes to get him, completely disregarding the plan. Of course, things go out completely sideways, as they now not only need to save Forky, but also Bo's sheep, who are captured due to Woody's impatience. While Buzz, Giggle, and the others search for the keys to unlock Gabby's cabinet, Woody and Bo set off to find her old friend Duke for help. After convincing him to join them, the group gathers again, and with the keys in hand, they proceed with the plan.
What about winner chicken dinner?
Yes.
Duke, being a daredevil, will make a daring jump, sending Woody gliding along a rope directly to Gabby's cabinet, while Buzz holds the other end of the rope to help them get back safely. The plan works. Woody and Bo manage to reach the shelf and find Forky. However, while searching for the sheep, Gabby and her dummies corner them. They try to escape, but it all ends in disaster. Not only because they fall from the shelf, causing one of the sheep to lose a leg, but because they were also chased by the store's cat, who isn't friendly at all.
Giggle!
In fact, the cat not only swallows and then spits out Giggle, but also carries them outside the store without Forky. Woody insists on going back for him, but no one's with him as they think that it's a suicide mission. After a heated argument, Woody is left alone, while Bo and the others decide to continue with their plan of going to the fair and exploring the world. Buzz heads back to Bonnie's car. At the car, Buzz, with the help of Jesse and the others, managed to delay the road trip and gets Bonnie's parents to return to the antique shop, as Bonnie forgot her backpack. Bo, after thinking it over, changes her mind, and along with the others heads back to the store to help Woody.
Your backpack's in the antique store. Let's go!
What they don't know is that Woody has already made a deal with Gabby. In exchange for Forky, he gave her his voice box. The reason Gabby needed the voice box so badly was that she wanted to approach Harmony, the shop owner's granddaughter. Due to her factory defect, Gabby never managed to have a kid to play with, but with Woody's help, her dream was about to come true. When they're about to leave, Woody sees Bonnie entering the store in search of her backpack. He takes this opportunity and slips inside the backpack with Forky. However, when he sees that Gabby gets rejected by Harmony, Woody decides to do something for her.
You can take it home if you want.
He gives Forky instructions to find Buzz and tell him to meet them at the fair's carousel, while Woody goes back for Gabby. Seeing Gabby completely heartbroken, Woody convinces her to return with him to Bonnie, as he's sure that she will accept her. Bo and the others also return to the store, and after understanding what happened, they help Woody and Gabby reach the carousel so that they can get back to Bonnie. During their journey back, however, Gabby spots a lost girl and decides to stay with her, knowing the girl needs a friend. Woody and the others help Gabby get noticed by the girl, and this becomes a magical moment, as the girl not only accepts Gabby, but also finds her parents. Finally, Gabby found a home.
This is for you, Richard.
Meanwhile, Buzz, Jesse, and the rest manage to get Bonnie's dad to drive to the carousel using the GPS and brakes to stall. Once they all reunite, it's time for Woody to say goodbye. It's a tough moment, especially for Woody, who finds it hard to part with Bo. Sensing his struggle, Buzz reassures him that everything will be alright, that Bonnie will be fine, and encourages him to follow his inner voice. At that moment, Woody decides to stay with Bo, realizing that Buzz and the others will take excellent care of Bonnie. It's now his turn to seek new adventures and listen to his own heart. And that is how the movie ends, with a very nostalgic farewell as Woody takes a different path from Buzz and the rest to find himself again.
To infinity and beyond.
As we all know, in the first Toy Story movie, Andy gets a Buzz Lightyear toy as a birthday gift, a toy based on a movie. Well, Lightyear is that movie. So let's dive into the story behind the iconic Space Ranger. The story begins with Buzz Lightyear waking up from hypersleep to adjust the coordinates of his ship, heading toward a planet that shows potential signs of life. As a Space Ranger, his mission is to explore and investigate these planets to determine if it's worth waking up the scientists on board for a more detailed study of the place.
No readout yet if the air is breathable. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life.
Buzz, along with Commander Hawthorne and a rookie, head out to explore. However, things quickly take a turn when giant plants try to capture them and pull them underground. They all rush back to the ship, but Buzz, ignoring all the autopilot warnings, takes off, accidentally crashing the ship and waking all the passengers from their hibernation. This forces an emergency evacuation. Feeling guilty for the crash, Buzz considers quitting as a Space Ranger, especially after learning that the crash destroyed the hyperspeed crystal, the fuel source needed to return home.
Come on! Come on!
Buzz knows that creating another crystal is the only way to get everybody home, but he's also aware of the risks, as the process is very unstable. After talking with Commander Hawthorne, he decides to take on the mission to develop a new crystal and get everybody back to Earth. After a year of hard work, and with the help of all the passengers, they finally succeed in creating the first crystal prototype. Now, Buzz's job is to test the crystal to see if it's stable enough and works properly. Buzz heads back into space with a small spacecraft to test its power. But things don't go as planned, as the crystal fails mid-test, putting him in danger.
Mission failure imminent. Please record your last words.
Not today, Ivan. Not today, Ivan.
Thankfully, Buzz is an exceptional pilot and manages to return safely to the planet. There's a major problem. Buzz has been gone for 4 years. While for him, only 4 minutes passed due to the hyperspeed. For everybody else, it was 4 years. In that time, a lot has changed. People started accepting the fact that they'll be staying on the planet, so they started building houses, farms, and making it their home. Commander Hawthorne, Alicia, even got engaged. Buzz feels overwhelmed by all this, so in order to help him process everything, Alicia gives him a gift, Socks, a robot cat designed to cheer him up and provide company. Despite Socks' best efforts, Buzz is determined to fix things, so he asks Socks to help him figure out how to make the crystal work.
Crystallic fusion. Of course. When should I expect you back?
About 4 years.
Over the next 62 years for everybody else, just a few days for Buzz, he continues his attempts. On his last try, Buzz returns to find that Alicia has passed away, and a new leader is now in charge, one who forbids him from continuing his work. But not all hope is lost, as Socks has finally cracked the formula to make the crystal work. They just need to test it one more time. However, Buzz feels something is off about the new leader, especially since he's intending to confiscate Socks. Determined with his mission, Buzz and Socks rush to the spaceship to attempt one final test. Despite the guards' efforts to stop them, they successfully launch and complete the mission.
Hey, you're not authorized to be in this area.
When Buzz returns to the planet, he's overjoyed at first, but soon a strange robot appears and makes his ship disappear. Confused with what just happened, he meets Izzy, Alicia's granddaughter. As it turns out, 22 years have passed since he left, and robots have recently invaded the planet. The only thing they know is that the robots are being sent from a mothership that is hovering over it, controlled by someone named Zurg. Buzz, along with Izzy and her team of rookies, realize they must fight their way through the robots to reach the city, which is sealed under a protective dome. Their goal is to not only save everybody, but also to return the crystal, complete the mission, and go back home, to their real home. Even though Buzz thinks that it's better to go alone, he quickly notices that Izzy and the others have no fighting experience at all. They're not actually Space Rangers.
Did I get it?
Pretty close.
Sorry, I'm not trained with this weapon.
Despite his doubts, Izzy and the team follow him to an abandoned space station where they end up having to work together to escape, as Mo accidentally awakens some hibernating insects. Despite these challenges, Buzz and the group manage to escape using a spacecraft, though they crash on the dark side of the planet after being rammed by Zurg. Now Buzz, Izzy, Socks, and the others hatch up a new plan to reach a nearby facility in order to find the part needed to repair the ship. Buzz, used to working alone, struggles with teamwork, but eventually manages to make it. Together, they successfully retrieve the coil that they need. But just as they return to the ship, they encounter a new problem. Zurg, again. Quickly, they realize that Zurg is only after Buzz, so he instructs Izzy and the others to return to the ship for safety while he deals with the robot alone. However, Buzz can't handle Zurg on his own, so Izzy and the team march back to help him.
What? How do you know my name?
Come with me.
What?
Unfortunately, things don't go as planned. Due to a mistake made by Izzy, both Buzz and the Crystal are taken to Zurg's ship. Once aboard, Buzz tries everything he can to escape, but then a shocking twist happens. Zurg is Buzz himself, 50 years older. It turns out that Zurg also managed to reach hyperspeed, but when he returned to the planet, the new commander was waiting to arrest him. Zurg decided to escape and fled as fast as he could, eventually reaching an unimaginable future. In that future, Zurg found that time travel to the past was possible. Now, with Buzz's help in the crystal, his plan is to go back into the past and prevent the mission that made them get stuck on the planet in the first place.
And they didn't even care. So I escaped.
At first, Buzz is tempted by the idea. He could finally fix his mistake. But after thinking it over, he realizes that if they traveled to the past, Izzy would never have been born. They would essentially erase the lives of everybody who had lived on the planet during their absence. Meanwhile, Izzy and the rest of the team manage to teleport onto Zurg's ship using the same teleportation devices Zurg and his robots use. Meanwhile, Zurg realizes that Buzz won't help him, so he imprisons him instead.
You know what? We'll go ahead and erase those two.
But this imprisonment is cut short when Zurg's SOX unit helps Buzz escape and starts the ship's self-destruct sequence. Zurg eventually finds him again and they begin to fight over the crystal. Elsewhere on the ship, Izzy, Mo, and Darby decide to split up. Izzy goes to find Buzz while Mo and Darby look for ways to stop the robots from reaching their ship. Buzz, realizing that he can't fight Zurg alone, asks Izzy for help. The plan works, not only for Mo and Darby as they manage to destroy the robots, but also for Buzz, Izzy, and SOX, who successfully fight off Zurg and make it back to their ship with the crystal in hand. Unfortunately, the countdown for self-destruction is almost up. While Izzy and the others make it back to the ship just in time, Buzz doesn't. He's left floating in the vastness of space. But because space is literally engraved in his name, Buzz doesn't give up. He spots his ship, and with immense struggle, he manages to reach it. Zurg makes his final attempt to steal the crystal. Buzz, seeing as he's alone and in a tight situation, destroys the crystal, ensuring that Zurg is stopped once and for all.
I'm gonna go back and matter again, Buzz. And you? It will be like you were never...
In the end, Buzz, Izzy, and the team land safely back on the planet and are greeted by the new commander, who asks Buzz to form a team of space rangers to protect the planet from future space threats. Buzz happily agrees, but there's no need to recruit anybody. He already has his team. The movie wraps up with Buzz, Izzy, Mo, Darby, and SOX officially becoming space rangers, ready for their next adventure, to infinity and beyond.
To infinity?
And beyond.
And with this final story, the Toy Story saga comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed this recap as much as I did. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.